Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call this meeting of the Mazomanie Village Board to order. Meeting was properly posted on August 9th. Roll call.
Hera,
Here.
Beal, here. Dearson,
Here.
Nicholson,
Here.
Rowland, here. Schlamp,
Here.
Springsteen.
We have a quorum, so we will conduct business. I want to call everyone's attention that today is Jeff Dearson's birthday.
Thanks, Gary.
Something like 60 something? Or do you just look 60 something?
Do you want this in the minutes? No.
Jeff, there's nothing the matter with being 60.
Well, it is when I'm only 55.
I'd rather take 60. Bummer.
It's not the year. I ain't saying a word. Jeff, it's not the years, it's the miles.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Yes, happy birthday.
I'm
Okay.
getting married to Stacy, so.
That is 5 years.
33 years. You can put that in there.
Okay.
Item 4, additions or corrections to the agenda. If there are none, I'd ask for approval.
Motion to approve.
By Natalie. Second. By Jeff. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by the same sign. That motion is carried. Item 5, approved minutes from the last regular board meeting.
Motion approved minutes.
Motion by Jeff.
Second.
Second by Scott. They were particularly well written. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed by the same sign. The motion is carried. Item 6, appearances and significant correspondence. Anyone that would like to speak that on any item that's not on the agenda, and I see no one here who that would apply to. Item 7, village president's report. I have nothing to report at this meeting. Item 8, village administrator report. Peter, do you want to just quickly summarize that?
Okay, a lot of time is spent on the FEMA projects, mostly the public assistance. We were on our fourth project manager, and so I've been resending stuff that I've already sent them twice and explaining things that I've explained already, but it's moving along. Been also working on resolving ordinance violations and reaching compliance with our ordinances. Also financial projects, including the summaries and 2020 budget estimate that I've been working on. We had just a few more data requests from the PSC for our rate case, so we're moving that along, hopefully quickly. New police contract, it's on the agenda, just a brief update on that. But that's with Dane County. And I trained with Sue on payroll, and I'll be doing it by myself on the 21st when she's at a conference, so no one's being paid that week. Been working on the comprehensive plan to put together a comparison, and also called both of the people up to get some clarifications on some of the things they had in there.
Questions of Peter? I know that Kyle is here, and I know he plans to give a report, so if you don't mind, if there's no objections when he does come, we'll insert him into the agenda somehow. Is that okay? Items 10, 11, 12, 13 are all second meeting of the month. Lake Marion update. Mark isn't here. Is there anything you two know of that have to be brought up?
Nothing new that we haven't talked about already.
Questions from the board? Hearing none, we're going to move on to item 15, update on Mazo 2020 committee, minutes of the 8/7/19 meeting. We're in your packet. Peter, do you have anything to add?
No, with the exception that you noticed that Chris Long had given a presentation about a GEM grant that they're looking for the Department of Tourism, and he did ask for $5,000 to be put in the budget for next year. We'll have a board discussion about that later on, about that. The Mazo 2020 committee thought it was a good idea, but I kind of warned them that there's not much money in the budget this year. just so you're aware that's coming.
Kyle, we're on item 16 and you were number 9, but
Really?
we've all agreed
That was a quick one.
to stop our forward progress and let you report. You're on.
All right. Well, let me pass these out first. All right, so let me actually take a look at this for the first time myself. All right, so it looks like nothing too significant in terms of, you know, any trends or anything like that. Few domestics, check persons, check areas done by Stacy at night, checking area businesses and stuff. That's about it. For major calls, in total there was 139, 108 of those were covered by village deputies. 6 total municipal citations issued, all of which are related to traffic incidents, whether speeding or crash related. So, it's pretty decent for not preparing it all. I mean, I just kind of walked in here and did that, so.
You've done good. Other questions of Kyle?
How the last Cops with Kids outing go?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Kids liked it. They ate a lot of pizza, like way more pizza than we thought. So, and then I missed the National Night Out. I was on vacation. I was down in Nashville, but I heard it went really well.
It was really
Good.
nice.
Glad to hear that feedback. So we'll be doing that again next year.
That was awesome.
So, good deal.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 16, violations of property ordinance.
We currently have 3 letters out for properties with tall grass and weeds. 4 on the list from last time are on Mark's list to be mowed. We didn't get any response from them. I'm gonna be revisiting with a business owner about some signs in the highway. And also had a meeting with Tracy and Nate about some properties. The Crescent Street property that we've been talking about the last few meetings is going to the point where it's gonna be, our lawyer's gonna be going to the judge to get a raise order on that. Then there's 3 other properties that we've been working on various stages. The wheels of justice turn slowly once it gets into this process, but we're keeping pushing on them.
What are the other 3 properties? What's the issue?
We have, Gordon Bates old house on Meadow Lane. We have a person living in a garage, or we found them, hopefully they're not anymore. And then also the house by the park with the yard piled with stuff, and also possibly the house.
Questions of Peter? Item 17, flood update. I think you pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I got it in my little fingers, it's been with FEMA stuff.
Okay, any questions? Let's move on to old business. We have one item of old business. It's a smart growth plan. This is that, just to show you what was done 10 years ago. This is required by the state that we update this every 10 years so that we qualify for fill in the blank here. So,
We feel we can make our own decisions about use of land, and also there are grants that are available throughout the years that you have to have a comprehensive plan in place to be able to receive.
okay, so if we want grants from the state, we have to have this in place, and if we want to control our own destiny as it
Right.
relates to land use in the village,
Yep.
we have to have this comprehensive plan. I asked Peter, this is, you know, if you had taken the time to read these 2 proposals. Peter went to Vanderwall, to Beerbeaker, and to CCL Consulting, which is Chris Long here in the town of Mazomanie, and asked them all for proposals. Beerbeaker declined. Beerbeaker prepared our last comprehensive plan. We had proposals submitted from Vanderwall and from CCL. I said to Peter, this is, we gotta make apples to apples comparison here on this thing. So Peter prepared the summary showing the cost and what would be included in each. And he's going to put it on the screen and walk us through this item by item. And Troy, this is not in next year's budget.
Talked about that.
Yeah. All right, try to move this along as I talk, but I'm just gonna go through each line. If you have any questions, please stop me. We'll first start out with base map compilation and preparation. Vanderwall's gonna start from scratch and build the maps and revise them. CCL is just gonna do revisions off the old maps. Data collection and analysis, both of them are gonna be doing that. Review and summarize existing plans and ordinances. Vanderwall will do both. CCL is gonna be reviewing that. Ongoing project management coordination, both of them will be doing that. Comprehensive plan update project kickoff meeting with project team, both of them will be conducting that. Ongoing project team meetings, Vanderwall has it listed as up to 5 meetings, and CCL has it listed for 3 meetings. A red line draft comprehensive plan text with maps, both of them will provide that initially for us. Draft 1 and draft 2 of the comprehensive plan, Vanderwall has those listed separately. CCL is as needed. So if we need more or less, he'll always have the new draft ready for the next meeting. Final draft, comprehensive plan. Pardon? Oh, sorry, thank you. Final draft, comprehensive plan. This is the adoption version. This will be the one that'll be brought to the combined plan commission meeting and village board meeting. And then there'll be the final comprehensive plan adopted. Both of them will do those too. Sending the adopted plan to the neighborhood jurisdictions and agencies, both will also do. Public participation plan and strategy, both of them will also do. Plan commission working sessions, both of them said that they would do too. Draft plan public open house, both of them will help plan that. Joint plan commission and village board meetings, Vanderwall plans for 3, CCL plans for 2. Now we get into some of the optional ones for Vanderwall. Community engagement workshop, that's an additional $26.73 from Vanderwall. Chris has that already figured into his plan. Stakeholder and high school student interviews, that's an additional $34.73 from Vanderwall. And Chris has 3 meetings with stakeholders already figured into his plan. The community comprehensive plan vision graphic, it's $2,315 for Vanderwall, and Chris does not have that in his plan at all.
So what is that exactly?
It's basically it's a graphic to show the visioning of the plan. So it's easy to see, you can see it, you've got graphics and you've got pictures and stuff like that, graphs, so people can easily understand what the comprehensive plan is. An online survey, project webpage, or social media engagement, that's an additional $2,250 for Vanderwall. Chris is planning that with an online and a mail-in survey, that's already figured into his amount. The total base cost for Vanderwall is $39,112, and CCL's is $36,180. The total cost for the shared optional items, so these are items that are optional for Vanderwall, so additional money and already figured into Chris's budget, $47,508 for Vanderwall, $36,180 for CCL. The date of the finished product, Vanderwall has got a timeline with it finishing at the end of December 2020, and CCL has a timeline with it ending in June 30th of 2020. So there's a comparison of the programs. These all would start in 2020 then. They would start the process then. And that's why we're looking to budget for it in 2020.
But for CCL, he's not putting on the community, the graphic, so.
Correct.
That 2,300 kind of is a
It's
wash.
not included in the
It's
4,700.
not included in.
Right, because I
Okay.
just did the ones that they shared, because that wouldn't be fair to Vanderwall to add it on there.
It's not what we need in a year when we can't increase our levy. But I don't see that we have a choice but to update our plan, because is it critical that we act on this tonight?
No, I told both of them, I'd let them know what was decided tonight, but if the board needs more time, they can be waiting on this. They're not gonna start till January 1st.
You need more time. Or are you leaning one way or another at this point?
I guess my question would be, I mean, I know that Vanderwall included a lot of like examples of like what they had done with previous communities where like Chris's was more pretty much a cut and dry proposal, like is there other communities that Chris has worked with doing this comprehensive plan, so we can get like maybe some, recommendations?
He has not done a comprehensive plan before. He did our community outdoor recreation plan for us, but he has not done.
He's gonna take this and just update it, so it's just gonna be an updated version of this.
Is that acceptable by the state?
Everything that's required statutorily, Chris and Vanderwall have in their proposal.
And Vanderwall would be starting from scratch with it, or?
They would start with this team, yeah. But their mapping, I know they were planning on starting from scratch on the GIS program for that.
Do we need to do additional things? Community engagement workshop, stakeholder in high school?
We do need to do it, but it would be, with Vanderwall, it would be us doing it, they would help us plan it, but we would be doing it. And with CCL, he would be doing it.
No time to do that.
I don't know. But the last time we didn't have to do that. I mean, we did community engagement workshops. And we did surveys, but I don't remember us doing that stakeholder in high school student thing or the vision graphics.
The vision graphic is not required, neither is the survey or anything like that. Those are all, that's why they've got listed as additional. Those items were not required. The community engagement workshop is, they'll help us plan it. That's the, where was that? A public participation plan and strategy.
But it would seem to me, if you're doing a comprehensive plan, 10-year plan for the community, you want as much community as you can get on this. You don't want to be doing this in the vacuum, so from my perspective, I'd like to see the survey. I'd like to see citizen input into this.
And when I talk,
There was good citizen input in the last plan. There were good ideas.
and that survey was one of the things that helped the board decide about keeping McMarion, because that rated so high in that survey, and that survey was only a year old at the time that those discussions were going on.
Are there requirements by both, both of these contractors, the requirements to do this report? Like, is there backgrounds and certain specific things that they have to have?
They don't have to have certain things, no. They just have to meet the statutory requirements, which each one of them has in their plan.
They say they can.
That they are going to be doing it, yeah.
So like what you're saying is like any Joe Paul could have wrote this up and,
Yeah, that's
Yep.
really?
what it sounds like.
Kind of sounds that way.
The deadline has passed for submission of proposals, so Troy
10 years
Brewers
from now.
Enterprises
10
would
years.
accept a proposal at this point.
See in 10 years.
I guess it's a pretty big expenditure to just decide if there's other questions, in my opinion, or if we don't have to decide tonight, then we.
I would like to postpone the whole we need to have some budget conversations, we need to see what the budgets are gonna look like, and it's,
And then
This,
make a.
this we have to do, it's just a question of
yes,
what you gotta cut.
exactly, and that's what I think everyone needs to think about, is that if we do spend more, whatever we spend, we have to look at what are some things that we may have to step back on for a year or two.
Yep.
I would make a motion to table a comprehensive plan to the next meeting.
You wanna postpone it, Natalie, to our next
Postpone.
meeting.
Postpone.
Motion by Natalie to postpone discussion to our next meeting.
Plus something.
Second by Troy. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed by the same sign.
If anybody has any specific questions, please pass them on to me, either email me or catch me at the end here, so that I can get those clarifications.
This is accessible in the office, you can just come in, just do a late night meeting.
Yep, I've got a copy of
I've got an extra copy, so
Yeah.
if you wanted to take it home, you could.
Okay.
Anybody else want a copy? I've read it.
I read it on the bus on the way back from New York City.
Okay, we're gonna move into new business. Item 1, lights from Lake Marion Shelter. And Mark is here to talk about this. What do we have for lights in there right now, Mark?
Right now, there's 2 lights. One first light's about 4 feet from the south end, and then at 10 feet farther, there's another light. And that leaves a large area that's unlighted completely.
You're talking shelter on the east end, or on the, yeah.
On the south end of the lake and on the west side of the lake, down there, right next to the road. It's the one that the Sportsman's Club built. I don't know what year it was, but we built the lake, or the shelter, and then we got together with the village board to furnish the electrical supplies to be put in there, and when they give us the supplies, I put it in. Except we only got 2 light fixtures, and it was supposed to be, Dean Sandplaven was supposed to get us 4 more, and that day never came.
You're kidding. I can't believe that.
And the other night when we were out there, actually a week ago tonight, we realized that it's not even hardly 8 o'clock, and it's noticeably dark in the north end. And we thought that it would be a good idea to put it in, especially when the park is open until, I believe, 10 o'clock. And 6 months out of the year, it's fairly dark at 8 o'clock. So, and my question today, I asked Mark this morning if he had a wholesale house or whatever that he could get supplies from at a discount rate, being it's a village, and he said no, he doesn't, but whenever he needs electrical supplies, he goes to Steve Flogel, and he gets the job done. So I guess my question is, could I go to Steve and ask him to get 4 more light fixtures and bill them to the village?
And you're proposing.
And I will install them. And Mark suggested that the 4 that I put in now, I put on a separate switch so that when they have dealies out there like right tonight, they can put lights just where the band is and put everything else off so that their showcase during their whole stay there. So that's what I would do.
If you had to guess, Mark, what kind of cost are you talking?
If you get, counting the light fixtures, and we'd be kind of stupid not to put LEDs in out there. I would say roughly $30 to $40 a piece probably, especially if you get vandalization-proof fixtures, but I don't really think that we need them. I'd have to look in the catalog to see what the difference in prices would be and if it would justify doing it.
So Mark, all the conduit runs are in place already on the shelter? Is it
All I
just-
have to do is go
you're just-
right out of the light that's there and continue down 30 feet, 3 sticks of, 3 sticks of pipe and 4 light fixtures. And I already have a lot of that stuff in my garage.
I think Mark said you were volunteering your time on this.
Correct.
I can't see why we wouldn't do this for a minimal cost of this. This could be paid out of the electric utility, could it not,
No, it would be out of our general fund, but it could be, probably be paid out of that park donation fund.
Would it make sense to replace the 2 or 3 that are already there? since
I'd have to, when I have to get another wire up through those fixtures, the one that he wants to switch separately, and when I take them apart, I can look at them and see what condition they're in, and also put new LEDs in those fixtures so that when you turn them all on, they all look the same instead of
I think that's,
two
Is there
different
a
fours.
motion to approve the generous request of Mark?
I make that motion.
By Natalie, second by Scott. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed by the same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Okay, item 2, museum roof replacement. Zudi was going to be here for the museum to do the presentation, and Bob Doddsworth called and said he had a stroke. So he won't be here. Just an FYI, the village has entered into a long-term agreement with the Historical Society, and any maintenance, any repairs, as part of the contract are their responsibility, so we'll see where this thing goes.
We need a motion to postpone this.
Yes, is there a motion to postpone this discussion to
I'll
a future
motion.
meeting by Troy?
second.
Second by Jeff. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 3, operators licenses. Corey Dewar, Jessica L. Schmidt, Melinda Dewar, Candace Lynn Wilson, Amber Brings, Christina L. Kasowski. Sue's done background checks on all. She tells me they pass.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Natalie,
Second.
second by Scott. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed by the same sign. Item 4, Class B liquor license for Taco Man.
Is there a liquor license approved on that,
For your license.
your license?
Yeah, he's expanding it to liquor now.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. And especially on that, wasn't there a liquor license up there in that building before?
No, just a beer license.
Years ago.
Years ago.
Well, years ago, but not, I mean, all licenses approved every year on June 30th.
Did we, I wasn't part of it. I had to leave the room when I left the building. The people with the bed and breakfast came.
Mhm.
Was there something set aside for them, or is there another one available? or
There's
what?
another one available, this will be our last one.
All right. Okay, we have a motion by Natalie, a second by Jeff to approve. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Item 5, fireworks permit, fireworks application for Wild West Days on September 6, 2019, rain date on September 7, 2019.
Motion.
Motion by Scott,
Second.
second by Jeff. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. That motion is carried. Item 6, application for temporary Class B beer license for Wild West Days for September 6, 7, 8, 2019.
Motion approved.
Motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Troy. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And those opposed by the same sign. That motion is carried. Item 7, payment request number 3 for rural construction for 2019 street and utility improvements, Crocker Street, High Street, and Scott Street, in the amount of $75,968.65. And I see that on this, Tom from Town and Country has approved this and Mark has approved this payment.
This is not final payment, right?
It's not.
There's another one that's on my desk for
2 years from now.
Cause
Are they on schedule?
nothing,
They're way.
They're way
They're
faster.
way-
nothing but complaints now. I know they said they were doing a great job the first meeting after they started, but wow,
It's terrible.
it's terrible. Better be holding a decent amount of money back.
Is there a motion for payment?
Yes.
By Ray, second. Second. By Scott, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed by the same sign. The motion is carried. Item 8, final payment request number 7 for Kraus Excavating for 2018 Lake Marion improvements in the amount of $16,524.60. This was recommended by Brian Berquist of Town and Country and also approved by Mark.
Motion.
Motion by Ray,
Second.
second by Troy. Discussion.
Has anybody noticed if they finished that landscaping that they were supposed to do before? I think
Yes.
Mark said all done.
Mark said they did.
That's why he's recommended.
I regretfully haven't been by there. When we
They
walked it, it wasn't great, so I should.
seeded it down and.
Did we vote on that?
No, you didn't vote, you have a motion in a second though.
Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed by the same sign. The motion is carried. Item 9, brush recycling site update. You'll see in your packet a memo that I received from Village Attorney Bill Cole. And I'll just summarize this real quick. There's light at the end of the tunnel here, folks. Bill points out that there are 3 things that the DNR can control on this. Number 1, whether the site permits burning, and what is being proposed is chipping of all brush waste. And Troy, Mark is estimating $7,000 to $9,000 next year for that cost, so figure 8. So the burning would be out of consideration. Second item is the amount of compost that can be held on the site, and 50 cubic yards is it. I talked with Mark this morning. I said we need to, and we're going to have a written plan on this, folks, but we have a written plan that says when the amount of compost measures to, and let's say 45 cubic yards, if it hasn't been taken by community residents for garden purposes or whatever, that Village Public Works will remove that from the site and dispose of it. However, the third thing, so we can get around those two. The third thing is the critical one, and Mark and Brian Berquist are dealing with the DNR on this right now, and that's whether what is created there is an artificial wetland. These 2 dry lake beds were put in by the DNR many years ago to hold that first water coming in from Lake Marion. I think it was primarily the east, the larger of the 2 dry lake beds is where the majority of the water, if not all of the water was. Is that right, Ray?
That's what it came through.
Yep, so and they've had conversations with the person at the DNR who told them what the process is to make application to have that declared an artificial wetland, so that the wetland isn't a consideration for us. So they are working on that right now. There's at least light at the end of the tunnel. I wouldn't put odds one way or the other. We're dealing with the DNR, but it's better than nothing.
We've also talked with Bainan, with Dale Lochner, come up with a harebrained idea on this recycle brush dome.
Quit calling it.
I know, it's pretty hard to take it out of your
I know.
vocabulary
I know.
though.
I'm gonna
But
work on you.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying hard.
I hear you.
And we talked to him about him coming down once or twice or 3 times a year and bringing taking down his big dozer and pushing it all the way back as needed, and then run over back and forth and bust everything up and crush it. I'm thinking with that idea in mind, we don't have to worry about shredding it. All we've gotta do is keep Mark once in a while, maybe once every week or so, with the backhoe and push it. Have Bainan come down as he will and push it back and crush it. We have to put limitations on the sides of the branches that are going in there, of course, and whatever. We talked with Dale. Dale said his mobilization cost is $500 a visit and $150 an hour. We figured the first time he could probably have it done in 2 to 3 hours. The second time he could probably dress it up in an hour or so. And if we give him 30 to 45 days notice, most likely the $500 mobilization cost will go away, because as he's in the area, then he can go down and take care of it.
I'll let you and Mark, work that out and come back with a presentation.
Now that we're on this, I looked at different, communities, and they open, like, the grass and removal of your leaves and all like that, and it's like April through November. And that's when it's open, otherwise it's closed for other communities. I mean, is this something that, you know, we can look at too, that we don't have to worry about in the middle of winter, people dumping in stuff down there, we can't get rid of it, you know, it's frozen to the ground, you know,
Sounds like a job for public protection and ordinance to address.
that's kind of my thought. Just an idea, I just know, I just want, look at other communities like Middleton, stuff like that, and that's kind of what they recommend, and stuff like that. We can use it to get rid of some brush, I suppose, but.
We're starting fresh.
Okay.
We know we're not gonna burn, because we're gonna recycle here somehow. So,
I just thought for him to be able to take care of it down there in February, it would be fun to try to take care of that stuff. All right.
so this item, we will simply defer to a future meeting and, with updates as to, discussions with the DNR. But it appears that we're on the right track here.
So if we are looking at potentially staying in this spot, we've got some people in the community who want to make a dog park out of that same area. What are we talking to people about that yet? Are we just kind of holding off until we get a final conclusion?
I would say we explored that area because it was gonna be vacated, you know, we haven't really pursued any other areas for that as of yet. There was concerns by the dog, or from the dog owners of that site, however, it's nice that we mow some of the walking paths and that's the only part that dogs are allowed in.
I don't know that you can't, that's a fairly large lake bed there. I'm not certain that, you know, with the brush at the far end, you can't, use the majority of that front part as.
It seemed like an ideal location just because, you know, if you look back at those old lake beds, you know, I think they already mowed several paths through there, you could walking trails for dogs and stuff.
That has already been designated as a dog-friendly
Friendly
park
park,
anyway.
yeah.
It's the only park that we allow dogs in
Right.
legally.
I guess let's keep that in mind as we're planning it. So if we can fit them both, we can fit them both. But
I know they have an ideal size they're looking at and stuff, and Mark's got all that information, so.
4 miles out of town is over 2,000 acres of dog park. It's all free. All the trails are mowed, everything. Think of that.
You're preaching to the
Costs us
choir.
nothing.
Okay, anything more on brush recycling site? Item 10, please contract with Dane County Sheriff's Office, just some background. Back late last year, Les Sander, in the board discussion, said we need to look at the contract that we have with Dane County, because the cost keeps going up and up. And in fact, this year they proposed a cost increase of 10.3%. So, initiated by our village attorney, Bill Cole, were discussions held by villages of Windsor, Black Earth, and Mazomanie on revising the contract itself, not talking cost, but just revising the terms of the contract. That was in your packet. And if you saw it, it was redlined, as it were, the changes that are being proposed.
It was not in the packet. We were gonna discuss this at the last meeting in August,
Oh,
because we need to do this in closed session. And this one is the one that's being sent to the county.
We're not sending it till after our meeting or to our session.
It is sent to them, the last meeting, we're hoping to have the final contract, going back and forth on, that the board would approve the final contract.
So Bill Cole has submitted this revised contract to the county at this point.
Yep.
Okay. And hopefully, 2 weeks from now, we'll have the final contract from Dane County. What, Peter, have board members been given a copy of this?
No, they have not.
Let's get a copy to each board member yet this week, tomorrow, or certainly the day after at the latest. It'll be in your box. Take your time to read that. We're gonna need to go into closed session at the end of our next meeting in 2 weeks, and discuss the contract, and discuss, hopefully, we've got some idea of where we're going to be in a budget with no levy increase, and where our cuts are going to have to take place in order to do things like brush recycling site, this comprehensive plan that we're required to do, and so forth, so. It would be in your thing with you. I've read it, there's nothing egregious in it, from Dane County standpoint or ours. So take a look at that. Peter will also include in that, I'm sorry, he won't include that. At your next meeting, he's gone back to 2013, showing our actual cost each year of the contract amount, and where the actual came in versus contract, and what the contract increases were. So that will be available in your packet at the next meeting. Okay? Great.
Didn't we talk not too long ago, but I mean, we talked for over a year on that, about sharing a nighttime officer?
Yes,
Did that go through?
it did not go through with Black Earth. Black Earth chose not to share a third shift officer with us.
That would have, that would have solved your 10%.
You
And
think?
some, yeah, I know.
Makes no sense.
I thought it was being worked on.
It was.
It was.
No, I thought it was, and I thought it was coming closer to an agreement.
So we,
It's gone.
so we will talk at our next meeting, we'll go into closed session. We'll go under the statute that permits us closed session for negotiation purposes. All right, so we're into committees. Personnel, I have nothing scheduled at this point. Public Works and Property. You know, it's great when you got a good public works department. You don't need me.
All I gotta do is say no.
Yeah. Parks and Rec. That, Terry is here this evening. She said she wouldn't be here. Public Protection and Ordinance.
I don't have nothing right now, but Stu has something for me.
Yeah, he's gonna, we finally can officially have Tracy Johnson as our electrical inspector. The state's
to be getting that back as part of the contract. There's the police contract,
And then we'll see the DNR minutes.
all the street vacation, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I think, and that's being billed when I get all the bills.
Yeah, because they'll recoup that cost, right?
Yes.
Let me see if I can get them fast enough, though. I don't know. No, I didn't, but I can get them. You want those?
Franklin Street,
Which one do you want
the
first?
salary continuation agreement for Tara.
Oh, Geo, okay, that one I did.
Lease contract, setback exception for flooding. The inspection warrant for 312 Crescent
Oh,
Street.
no, sorry, yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Geo.
Not the GO obligation bonds, I want the GO general fund.
General fund, okay,
Well, let's talk about this, you got it up here.
okay.
So in your packet each month, I just wanna make sure
This is the Geo fund.
we're all looking at this, get it back over for you.
Yep, I'm doing it.
All right, so this happens to be the general obligation borrowing that we did last year. And the remaining balance, you can follow that line along and see what is left to be paid for each of those projects. Now, we know that the TIF number 5 is going to be reimbursed, and the street projects, Broadhead and East Whitechapel, did go over last year, so it's highly likely we're gonna be doing some short-term borrowing until our next bond, until we incorporate that into our next bond. But otherwise, we're over in Lake Marion, and I think you're allocating interest earnings each month to that.
Right, well, but not to Lake Marion, I'm allocating it to the street project, however, Lake Marion, once we get the bill for the fish, which would be another $2,000 or so, we're gonna get about $9,000 for our grant.
Okay.
And then we also had put money in the budget for Lake Marion, knowing we had a couple small projects to do this year for it,
All right.
so that'll go away
So
then.
we're in pretty good shape on this with the exception of the street project.
Yep.
Because TIF number 5 will reimburse us at 21,000.
Yep.
Okay, go to the utility summary.
Utility summary,
No, the utility
the
bond.
bond, that's this one right here.
All right, so on the utility bond, we've got a positive in each one of those projects at this point in time. So all you really need to look at, folks, is that bottom line, just so you're aware of how the projects are coming along and what kind of funding we have available to complete those. Okay?
And we have not allocated any of our interest off of that, just because so far we've got money in all the accounts to use. Now, right.
Well, I'll just summarize here so we can get out. In terms of the general fund, excess of revenue over budget through June 30th of $108,000. And we are in line with all of our utilities, in line with the budget on all of our utilities.
Did you call for a vote then?
Okay.
You're right.
So do we have a motion and a second?
We have a motion and a second.
Motion and a second for payment of bills. Questions, discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Please sign.
And I have to sign them, so I could've got out a tree today.
Motion carried. What are you doing for meetings, Troy?
We haven't said anything yet. Peter and I are gonna be meeting later this week to start those discussions, and discuss the schedule. And Probably by next meeting, we should have an idea of what
Yeah,
the
about
schedule is.
mid-September, we're gonna wanna have a meeting
Yeah.
to go over all the budget proposals we've gotten from everyone.
But by the next meeting, you're gonna have a very loose
Idea,
projected
right.
budget.
We're gonna
So we can
pencil
talk police
Yeah.
contract and
Yeah.
know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything further? Any announcements? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
By Jeff,
I'll second.
second by Troy. And this is your birthday present, the 50th meeting. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.